we've been reporting on a dramatic increase in suspensions. There was simultaneously an increase in re-verifications, which are related. Last night, Google actually made a public announcement, which is quite rare. They said that there was an issue causing a spike in re-verifications for some accounts last week, but we've been talking to managers of bulk accounts, and they've been reporting re-verifications issues escalating since February, which matches very closely the escalations I'm seeing in suspension cases. Yext actually stopped moving updated data to Google about a week ago, and they noted that they saw increased re-verification counts across Google listings. So clearly the story isn't being totally told, as is Google's way. The fact that they announced it publicly means that a lot of their big accounts are being affected by this. And so they had to say something. At the beginning of this week, the suspension reports were still escalating in the forum. Monday, we still saw a big uptick. Interestingly, the reports over the last 3 months have come in on Mondays, which means maybe they're implementing this algorithmic change over the weekends. My theory and hypothesis is that there's some sort of new trust algo. There's something in the profiles that Google is now checking for. If you change your listing for any reason, that check gets triggered. We don't know quite what Google is looking for yet. This started in January and increased in February and through the first part of March. It manifests differently depending on whether it's a trusted account or a trusted location. So in the case of a trusted account, Google with bulk and a lot of their API customers develops a trust in the account, and they can do more things in their account. For example, in bulk, you theoretically can add new locations without each location being verified. So in that situation where they trust the account, but maybe whatever's in the listing triggered this new algorithmic see, they make a small change. In that case, it gets unverified. Now, it's very difficult for a bulk account to manually verify 10 or 15 locations, incredibly difficult. Whereas in the case of the single home service business, it just gets suspended because they don't trust the account or the listing, and whatever change they made triggered this. We think it's two sides of the same coin, that Google is looking for some compliance issue. They turned the algorithm loose. We started seeing the uptick. They finally responded last night after what I believe to be a month and a half of this. The response is unusual, indicates that
things are pretty bad.
Things are pretty bad. This is something that we talked about with Brad Weatherall, that it takes a lot for them to admit that things are bad. It takes a lot for them to make a public statement.